Okay, so we are actually in the midst of between fractions and ratio. So we will be looking at just parts of like how a word problem can be phrased. So we are just looking at maybe one sentence, two sentences, and then we need to actually understand if those sentences are given to us in a word problem, how many units are they actually? So we will be looking at that. Yeah, then after that, we'll be looking at some word problems involving direct proportion and unchanged identities and unchanged total. Okay, so I'll just go straight ahead. Now, so this is the very first question. Um, we are not actually asking you a whole word problem. We are just giving you like one sentence. But based on that one sentence, you all should actually be able to understand what it means. Okay, so I will just explain what it means here. When we say the number of men is a certain fraction of a number of women, what we mean is the numerator will belong to the man, the denominator will belong to the women. Okay, so that's what it means. All right, so if you understand this, then you should be able to figure out how many units to fill in. Okay, I think yeah, we see a few of you filling in already. So let me just double check. Yeah, okay, yeah, quite a number of names. So let me see. Yeah, okay, the first one, somebody put a 2. Yes, men should be 2. That is correct. Women should be 7 units. That's correct. As a result, the total is 9 units. Okay, all right, yeah, good job. Those of you who participated. Okay, so if we understand the phrasing right and you know how many units, it means you will be able to solve a word problem if the phrasing comes this way. All right, okay, so this is correct. Then we can move on to our next question. Okay, notice this time what they give us is in a mixed number. So a mixed number is very hard to interpret. They say the number of men is 2 whole and 3/5 as many as the number of women. And I can see some of you writing already, like Rose, Gautam. They wrote 13 units for men. How on earth did they come up with 13? Okay, firstly, what you need to do is change the mixed number into an improper fraction. Okay, so you see, yeah, I think, yeah, your friends have actually changed it for me. So when you change 2 whole and 3/5, oh, I don't have to clean it. Yeah, oh, okay, never mind. Oh, you have already cleaned it. So it is actually 13 as a numerator because we are changing into a denominator of 5. So one whole is 5, 2 wholes will be 10, but you have 2 wholes and 3/5. So it's 13 out of 5. Once we have it in improper fraction, we can now confirm. Actually, the 13 numerator refers to the men. The denominator, which is 5, belongs to the women. Okay, so yes, we have our friends filling in for us. 13 units of men, 5 units of women. As a result, your total number of adults in terms of unit, right? You have to add the 13 and the 5. You should get 18 units. Then what about the difference between men and women? Men 13 units, women 5 units, you subtract. So 13 units minus 5 units, you get 8 units. All right. Okay, so all these are correct. Good job, children. Okay, so you all know how to do, then we can move on. All right. Okay, yeah, we will need to clear this. Okay, thank you for clearing. So now question 3 already, yeah? Brian's mass is 1/5 more than Alice's mass. Now it becomes very tricky because it is a more than. All right. If you didn't understand how your friends can come up with 6 units for Brian, what it actually means is this. Your Alice is supposed to be 1 whole first. But because Brian, you want to talk about 1/5 more, right? So Alice's 1 whole is supposed to be 5 out of 5. All right. In terms of a fraction, the 1 whole is 5 out of 5 for Alice. Then Brian will be 1/5 more. So Brian is actually 6 out of 5. Therefore, when we are talking about the number of units, Brian will be 6, Alice will be 5. Okay? So that's how you interpret, Alice 6, Brian 6, Alice 5. So with that, when we ask for a total for Brian and Alice, you need to add the 6 units and the 5 units. You should get 11 units. If we're asking for the difference between Brian and Alice, then we will take 6 units and minus 5 units, and that will be 1 unit. Okay? So far, I think the same people have been participating. You all know how to do. Okay? I think we have some of our friends here who are rather quiet. Okay? So if you're quiet but you understand, that's fine. Okay? But if you don't understand, you need to tell us. All right? Okay. Wow. Kaiser says hi. Okay, hi. All right, let's look at question 4 then. Okay, I think there's a chat. I need to see. When Shen is asking, may I know how to write? Oh, on the screen. Oh, okay. What you do is this. You have your mouse, right? When you mouse over the screen, if I'm not wrong, as you move your mouse towards the top, the banner, the taskbar somehow will appear. Okay, because that one will disappear when you move the mouse away. So when it appears, so-called a black taskbar, you look for the word annotate. Okay, when you see the word annotate, you click on annotate. Yeah, you'll be able to choose the color, you'll be able to choose the pen or highlighter. Yeah, like some of your friends here, like this green one here is a highlighter. Then the rest are quite fine, right? Are basically pen. Okay, all right. Okay, let's look at the question now. We are at question 4. So it tells us that Brian's mass is 3/5 less than Anderson's mass. So in order for us to compare Brian with Anderson, Anderson must be treated as a 1 whole first. So the 1 whole, you need to change it into fractional parts because you need to know how it's cut into, right? And you notice that Brian is compared using fractional parts of 5. So Anderson will be 5 out of 5 at first, so that we can say Brian is 3/5 less than Anderson. Therefore, Brian becomes 2/5. Okay? And when Brian is 2/5, now we want to talk about number of units. Anderson, you just pick the numerator, 5 units. Okay, so that is correct. Then Brian, because you minus the 3 units, so it's 2 units. Okay, so yeah, we can see quite a number of people wrote. So 2 units. Then total for Anderson and Brian, you need to take the 5 and the 2. You add together. Yes, you get 7. Okay, so I have all our friends here filling in 7. They are correct. And finally, the difference between Anderson and Brian. So 5 units minus 2 units, you get 3 units. Okay? Yeah. So these are actually preparation. Okay? Such that when you see it in a word problem, right, you will be able to get the correct number of units. All right? Okay, so let's get going. Next question. Okay. You want to help me clean? Somehow, let me see. Okay. All right. Hang on. Let's clear this first. If not, can't even read the question. Okay. All right. Yeah. I think we have people who wants to volunteer. Okay. I can see Wenshan, Samilta, Kaiser, Rose. Everybody, Gautam, everybody is writing. Okay. Now, children, if everybody writes, then yeah, it becomes a mess, right? So hold on, wait. Okay, everybody hold on. Okay, Shengri is saying stop. Okay, now we don't have a space to fill this. So I tell you what we will do, okay? We will take turns, all right? We take turns, okay? 10. All right, so let's just see first because I think we already have people who wrote. Oh, they clean it. Okay, so who wants to start? Okay, Rose has written. Okay, then we'll let Rose start, okay? Rose has written 16 units over there for men. Let's have Rose complete the whole thing first, okay? Then I will comment. Rose, would you like to just fill in the rest first? And then after that, we'll talk about it. Okay, so the rest of you just keep quiet, okay? We wait for Rose to tell us what is happening. So she has written 16, 18, let's see what else, 34, and 2. Okay, now, children, what does it mean when they talk about half of the number of men is equal to 8/9 of the women? Okay, now children, okay, Kaiser is actually drawing for us, so let's just see what happens. Okay, Kaiser is drawing 9, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 boxes, and Kaiser is going to draw the half, if I'm not wrong. Okay, but very hard to see. Um, okay, hang on, children. Like that. Okay, children. If all of you don't cooperate, then we'll have a big problem. Okay, yeah, because I think some of our friends want to listen also, right? So we cannot have everybody drawing and writing. It will not work. Okay, so let me do the drawing then. Okay, for example, if I'm talking about half of the man, so basically if I'm drawing a model to show the man, what I'm doing is I'm saying this is half, so this is the half. Is supposed to match with 8/9 of the women. So actually women, okay, I think you all have all the transparent thing in there already. I can see that. So for example, the women, I have, this is women, okay, women is supposed to be 9 units. But they cut the women up, and then 8 units here is going to match. This 8 units is going to match with the men. Okay, then of course this part is 1 unit. But since the women is 8 units, which must match with the man over here, we will have to call the man 8 units here as well. Which means the other half must be 8 units as well. Now, this actually shows you that what we needed to do is actually make the numerators the same. So now I'm just going to use the fraction. Man, the half, I'm going to change to the numerator 8. Therefore, the denominator becomes 16, right? You get what it means? Okay, so once we have the numerator the same, what we are saying is 8 units of men is equal to 8 units of women. All right, so now it matches. Therefore, number of men, just now Rose has actually given the correct answer, but I think she cleaned it away. So 16 units is correct. All right, 16 units is correct. But women actually, Rose, this is where you made a mistake. It is no longer 18 units. You notice we didn't change anything about the women. The total is still 9 units. You get it? The total is still 9 units, you know. We didn't multiply by 2. Okay? Because we took 8 to match with the men 8. But the total is actually just 9. So 9 units will be our answer for women. And if that is the case, then number of men and women, you add 16 and 9, 25 is correct. Okay, 25 is correct. And of course, difference, you take the 16 and minus the 9, you get the 7. All right. Okay. Yeah, children, I want to thank you all for being very patient because I know, yeah, we all wanted to share our ideas, right? But too many, it becomes messy, then cannot see. Okay, so that's why we have to take turns. All right, we move on to our question 6 then. Okay, so now you see question 6. What happened is, wait, let me just clear this first. Let's clear this first. Okay, just now we had Rose who volunteered. Okay, I can see Gautam is filling in. So Gautam will continue now. Let's look at Gautam filling in the rest. Okay, and then after that, we'll have another person. Okay, so Gautam has filled in 9 units, 12 units, 18 units, and 3 units. So what we need to do is we need to check. Again, this question is talking about a certain fraction of the girls equal to a certain fraction of the boys equal to a certain fraction of the adults, right? very similar to the previous question, where half of the men equals to 8, 9 of the women, right?